recorded live at 4ZZZ Studios Brisbane on 102.1 FM.
And broadcast across Australia on the Community Radio Network.
You're listening to Zed Games.
With 10 years experience and over 500 episodes,
Zed Games brings you the best in gaming news, reviews, community and culture.
Want to reach out? Message us on Facebook at ZED Games AU.
Hello. My name is Zara, and with me in the studio tonight is
Caroline.
And
Hazel.
Sorry, Caroline, do you want to just reintroduce yourself because I turned on the wrong microphone?
Ruh-roh. I'm Caroline. Hello.
I'm so glad that everyone gets to hear your lovely voice. Real quick, Hazel, what do we have lined up tonight?
Well, I think first up we got some news.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, we got some.
It's almost
some
like we
news
do that every
from
week. No.
Cameron.
I believe Cameron has got some news for us, which I'm pretty excited to listen to. And after that, we've got a couple of little segments planned. No spoilers, but let's just get through things one at a time, shall we? All right, sure. Yeah. Let's listen to some news.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Time to get informed.
Coming in hotter than a blue shell from 8th place, here's this week's gaming news. Wow guy says wow after he got fired. Brian Birmingham, lead engineer on World of Warcraft Classic, has been fired from Activision Blizzard, reportedly for not participating in the controversial stack ranking process. Stack ranking asks team leads to mark 5% of their teams as not suitable to receive promotions, royalties, or even continued employment, and it's a pretty cold way to evaluate team members. Birmingham says he'd be willing to rejoin the team if he was asked to. In completely unrelated news, joining the Game Workers of Australia union is cheap and easy. 343's trial separation from Halo. Halo Infinite developers 343 Industries are reportedly stepping back from their committed relationship with Halo. The company will allegedly still have a supervisory role on future Halo game development, allowing other developers the opportunity to actually release a Halo title that makes people happy for the first time since Bungie went off to make Destiny games. 343 has reassured us that they still love us. This is just something grown-ups do sometimes, and it's not our fault. However, 343 Industries studio head Pierre Hintz debunked this rumour on Twitter over the weekend.
Halo and Master Chief are here to stay. 343 Industries will continue to develop Halo now and in the future, including epic stories, multiplayer, and more of what makes Halo great.
Justin Roiland sucks. In news surprising nobody who's ever had to deal with him, it turns out that Rick and Morty co-creator and main writer of the recent release Squanch Games High on Life has been fired from Squanch Games, Adult Swim, and anyone else who doesn't want his stink on their shoes. I really don't feel like submitting us all to his creepy but rest assured we're all better off without predators like him in the industry. Moving on. Breaking news! Unpacking is still awesome. Actually, that's not really news, it's just a gentle reminder. Sony unveiled PSVR 2 lineup. Sony have announced a swathe of new titles designed to get us excited about their second generation VR headset for the PlayStation 5. The new hardware includes eye tracking and 4K displays, but what will make it really worth buying are the game experiences that are coming in the next few months. A new Horizon game called Horizon Call of the Mountain heads the lineup, followed by VR updates to Gran Turismo 7 and Resident Evil Village. I personally can't wait to buy Tetris Effect for the 6th time and declare it Game of the Year for the 6th time, and I'm not even kidding. Upcoming releases. Get your wallets ready, folks, because there's a heaping of games coming our way, including Castle Shadowgate for the Commodore 64 comes out today. That's cool. Tomorrow, Dead Space for the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, PC, and Xbox Series X hits the shelves. On January 31st, we have SpongeBob SquarePants, the Cosmic Shake for PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Switch, Xbox One, and the Xbox Series. Age of Empires 2, the Definitive Edition on Xbox One and Xbox Series. Hitman World of Assassination for PC, PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox Series, Xbox One and Switch. And Power Wash Simulator for PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4 and Switch. Also on that day, the Power Wash Simulator Tomb Raider DLC. Wait, what? And that's your lot for this week's gaming news.
Thank you so much for the news, Cameron. We actually had a quick little look at the Power Wash Simulator Tomb Raider DLC.
I was so curious.
We were very curious because I think it could be, well, I mean,
Please tell me about it.
What possible crossover could Power Wash Simulator and Tomb Raider have? And obviously, you power washed a Croft Mansion, and it is big, and you have to power wash everything in it, which is kind of a lot. Just a ginormous, what was it? Fossil, like a whole T-Rex fossil statue.
Yeah, a T-Rex. A thing.
I did it again.
Oh no! I knew I couldn't hear myself.
Oh my goodness! I'm so sorry. Okay, sorry. I've got butterfingers at the moment, except instead of like dropping things, my fingers are just sliding off the sliders. But there's quite a lot to clean in the Croft Mansion, because it's a mansion, it's ginormous.
And it's filled with stuff that Lara Croft has stolen from tombs.
Yeah, like that's what she does, that's her thing. So you get to like, what if...
Power washing ancient artifacts.
Yes.
Oh!
There's ancient artifacts in like a display case, and you're power washing them.
I'm just thinking
I've used a power
about,
washer, and things don't stay still when you power wash them. They roll.
I'm just thinking about, you know those like ancient Roman statues, like the busts of like Caesar and stuff? Can you imagine power washing that? Can you imagine power washing it and you just like fully blast Caesar's hair off?
I want to do that.
I was going to say that I have to imagine that there's got to be like some, like, you got to steal something from Lara Croft, and I think that Lara Croft will actually become a boss battle, and you have to try and like defeat her with your power washing skills when she comes after you, because you just stole her entire T-Rex, and she's
got
like,
to power wash her polygons off of her.
Oh, all 3 polygons?
Yeah,
she's actually got like so many polygons now.
I know.
Which is terrifying.
She stole them all from tombs.
Yeah, I'm not too sure why we're focusing on that exactly.
It's kind of hard to look away from the phrase Power Wash Simulator Tomb Raider DLC.
Yeah. It's very Cameron, the rest of your news very, very good. I'm so sorry that we're focusing on one little game release.
I think Cameron said everything that needed to be said about this week's stories.
Yeah, but I do want to
know.
reiterate. I do want to reiterate.
Yeah.
Everyone should unionize. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do want to know, Zara, have you ever played Dead Space?
I have played the start of Dead Space. And as far as I know, I'm still stuck in a little nook that I found within the first 3 hours.
Well, I can't talk because I've never played a Dead Space because I am scared of the horror games.
Yes. Why do you bring this up, Hazel?
Because the remaster comes out very soon.
On the PS5. Oh my goodness.
We have a PS5.
We do have a PS5. We could play Dead Space and then get the pants scared off us.
Yeah,
we could get the polygons scared off us.
So scared.
Scary.
I think that sounds like a great activity.
I will think about it.
So you're listening to Zed Games, is that it?
You're listening to Zed Games.
You're listening to Zed Games.
Hello, you're listening to Zed Games.
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 Perfect.
With me in the studio tonight is Hazel. Say hello, Hazel.
Hey.
And Caroline.
Hello.
That was a greeting.
Sorry.
And you, Caroline, have a review for us.
I have a review.
What game is it for?
It is for the Fantastic Kitty Rue.
The Fantastic Kitty Rue.
Despite the fact there is no kitties in it, I was lied to.
No, whoa, okay, let's start at the start. Who are you playing as, and what is the story?
You play as Felicity. You are in what seems to be a spacefaring world, as there are multiple planets that are mentioned, and you live in poverty.
Oh.
Your father works for was it the Green Star Corporation or something? They seem to be the big
corporation.
Big corporation. It's sort of a weird, modern yet ye olde times with Art Deco, Art Nouveau sort of aesthetics.
Okay.
And you're just a small child who wants to dance and make a living dancing. It's like a point and click adventure rhythm game all thrown in together, and it's published by Inkrose Inc. The devs are Inkrose Inc., Studios Syndicate, and TYM Studio.
Okay. All right. So you play as Felicity, who is a child who wishes to dance, and her father works for a large corporation.
Yes.
Which I assume is probably like belching out pollution or something like that.
Pollution. They treat their employees like... And basically, kind of like, there's orphans running around on the street.
Orphans run around rampant?
Yes, and the corporation snatches up these orphans to work for them because...
Child labour.
Yeah, child labour.
I mean, the children yearn for the mines, as they're famously known.
It's the Industrial Revolution, where kids can fit into small places to clean machinery, and it doesn't matter if they lose some limbs in the process. Because you know what? They're learning the lesson of good hard work, but that kind of doesn't matter. There's a lot of backstory that never seems to matter.
Okay.
It's a very short game. I played it for an hour and 20 minutes and beat the whole thing. And I was like, I'm just getting into the swing of this, and then it was over.
Oh. Well, okay. So some of the mechanics, you described it as a rhythm game?
Yes.
Point and click?
At some points, Felicity will dance or sing a song or something, and a little rhythm game pops up where you have to have your hands on the keyboard and kind of like play it like a bit of a piano.
That's kind of fun.
Little icons will come and you have to press the corresponding key.
Oh, so it's kind of like one of those touch typing games that you play as a kid, where you're in computer lab and the frog's like, I'm gonna eat some letters, but I will only eat vowels right now, and you have to press the right vowels.
Yeah, and hold it, and she does her little dance. And if like her morale gets too low, if you mess up, you fail. But even though I was very bad at it, I never failed. I managed to pass.
Did you try to deliberately fail at any point?
No, I should have.
I should have. Test it?
I really should have. I was too stubborn. I was like, I'm gonna.
Okay, so she wants to dance.
Yes.
She wants to become a famous dancer, I'm assuming.
I guess.
As like children tend to. I mean,
she wants to make money because her mum's in the hospital.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah.
So when she starts dancing, is there like I don't know, is it like, all right, it's time to start dancing?
Yes. And a little song plays, and it's kind of cute.
Aww.
And then the sequence is over, and then you get some more visual novel stuff. And occasionally there's little moments where you can explore an area, find items, combine items to fulfill some purpose. Like, you have to make a stage to do your little tap thing.
Right. That makes sense.
And then eventually you have to... I cannot remember for the life of me. I'm very sorry. But a lot of it just wasn't memorable for me.
Oh.
It was very surface level, kind of cute. Like, I honestly thought the whole game was good as an intro chapter, and I thought it was about to get like deep. Like, we've escaped from this corporation that wants to, since we don't have, licenses saying, hey, we have a family because, we're poor and we can't afford the license. We've escaped from them. We've just gotten a job with this magician that Felicity really looks up to because she wants to be famous and he's famous, and you've got a job with him now, and the game's over.
Oh.
How long did you say you spent playing the game?
I spent 79 minutes.
79 minutes.
Well,
Oh,
I
yeah.
can tell you that on Steam right now, it is $17.75 Australian
Yes.
at the time of reviewing, which I would expect to get more than an hour and 20 minutes of gameplay.
Yes, I really was expecting more. I went into it completely blind. I just saw the trailer. I was like, I guess that looks cute.
Yeah.
The movement of the characters kind of creeped me out in some spots.
Like, initially when I saw it, and it's one of the reasons that I was like, oh, maybe you might be interested in checking this out, is because it kind of reminded me, it might have been the art style, it might have been the movements, but what was that game called? Machinarium? Where you play as a little robot.
Oh, yes. I love that game.
And you have to solve, like, puzzles. And,
yes.
like, everything's sort of, like, kind of like 2D cutout kind of style.
Yeah, I loved that game. That was a really good game. Yeah, it was like a little chapter with 2 bits of point and click, and I think there was 4 little rhythm sequences altogether.
Oh.
And yeah, I was just like, oh, it's a good little morsel. It's whet my appetite, and oh, the meal's over.
You just got an appetizer.
Yeah.
And it was just like, oh, was it a tasty appetizer? So taste buds salivating?
I just started to kind of warm up to it, like, okay, because at first I was like, oh, this is, it's very, I don't know.
Shallow.
Twee.
It kind of sounds like they were, like, 10% of the way through making the game and found out they had to ship it tomorrow.
Yeah, it really felt like that. And there was just little bits, like, that gradually drew me in, like, the lore about the race that Felicity is. She looks like a cat, but she's got a lemur tail, and they have the ability to grow seeds on their bodies, and depending what they grow on them, that gives them different abilities.
So they put a lot of thought into this world.
Yeah, I fully thought, oh, that's going to come into play at some point. I'll get to choose what I'm going to grow on me, and that'll, I don't know, influence how well I do it. So no, game's over. Goodbye.
I mean, there's a lot of value in a game being short. Sometimes a story just doesn't need to be that long.
But there was nothing...
This sounds very different to that.
Yes. There was a lot going on in the background, and it just kind of ignored that to... I don't know. I feel like maybe there could be a sequel, but...
Well, I guess we'll see. Can't all be winners.
No. It was cute. It was like a fun little time, but I wanted more. I
wish there was more. I wish it was good, so I could recommend it as neo-Victorian typing of the dead.
Unfortunately, we don't always get what we want. Sometimes a game is just big scope, but not that much.
Yeah.
And that happens.
Yeah, it sucks. I really wanted to like it.
If you try sometimes.
We've got a discussion that I've been personally looking forward to all night.
I wonder what this could be.
I wonder what this could be. Indeed, we're going to be talking about Sonic Prime, which is the new animated Sonic the Hedgehog show that's over on some streaming service. Yeah. So, just a little refresher for all of you. So before that, there was Sonic Boom, based off the game Sonic Boom.
Ooh, yep.
Which was 2 seasons, 52 episodes each, 10 minutes long, with just an probably the most upsetting depictions of the characters that the fandom has ever faced. It has.
I mean, I thought they were funny.
I mean, Knuckles. Look at what they've done to my boy.
Yeah, true. They did murder Knuckles.
They did murder Knuckles.
It was, however, my favorite depiction of Eggman.
Absolutely my favorite depiction of Eggman. But we're not here to talk about Sonic Boom. Before Sonic Boom, there was Sonic X.
Faster, 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 faster.
Which is pretty iconic. I initially watched a 4Kids version of it.
I think I did as well.
And then I watched the Japanese version of it with like the subtitles. And that, whoa, that's just a gun.
Oh,
that's just a gun. And it's just, whoa.
Did Sonic have a gun?
You're going to have to just watch Sonic X, probably with me, to find out.
Oh.
And before that this is where my memory gets murky because I'm not that old. I'm not young, but I'm not old either. But there was, what was it? Sonic Underground, Sonic something else.
I remember watching a Sonic
the
where there
Saturday
were...
morning cartoon Sonic.
Yeah. I mean, does anyone else remember those little PSAs at the end of I remember the PSAs very clearly.
I don't know.
Where Sonic is just like, don't do drugs. Drugs are uncool. And he sort of does the little cheeky pose and then races off, implying that if you do drugs, you'll never be as fast as Sonic.
If you do drugs, Sonic will never be your friend.
They should have just led with that for their campaign. That would have worked on so many impressionable children.
Sonic thinks you're a loser.
Oh, wait. Does Sonic think I'm a loser?
Probably.
Oh, well, we're going to talk about Sonic Prime.
Oh my god.
Sorry, that was really mean.
This got heavy.
Sonic Prime.
Sonic would be your best friend.
Thank you.
Sonic goes to your graduation.
Aww. That's so okay. We got to stop with the Sonic POV whatever this is going on. We're here to talk about Sonic Prime, which is a show that is on a streaming service, and it currently has the first release season. I don't really know how episodes are really launched anymore.
They just vomit them onto the platform.
Yes.
And they sort of congeal there for a while.
Yeah, for 2 years, and then there's another. Yeah.
And then they cancel the whole thing because they don't want to pay the people who make it.
Okay, well, yes.
Sorry.
But that's not what we're here to talk about.
I'm sorry.
We've been trying to talk about Sonic Prime for 3 minutes.
Sorry.
So Sonic Prime involves the cast that we all know and love, which includes Sonic the Hedgehog, of course, Tails the Fox, Knuckles the Echidna, Amy Rose the Hedgehog, Shadow the Hedgehog, Big the Cat,
Eggman,
of course, Eggman the Man.
Eggman the Man. I don't know why that's so funny to me.
Egg the Man.
Eggman the Man. Who else is? And Rouge the Bat. Oh, of course.
Yeah.
You almost forgot.
I almost forgot. But you know what? Just because she's last does not mean she's the least.
She is the most.
She is the most. And there's been a lot of depictions of Rouge the Bat over the years. And I've seen fans draw their art of her. And I've got to say, it's this depiction of these interpretations of these characters are so much fun.
Yes.
Because they're all very similar to what I'm familiar with as a base character. You know, you have Rouge, who's just kind of sassy. She's here to, and she's here to annoy Knuckles. That's her main mission in life. Yes. Knuckles is he's pretty intelligent, but very naive and sort of a little confused about things. Tails and Sonic and Amy, I would say, have the most interesting relationship in this show, because for once all their imperfections are acknowledged as imperfections, which is, I would say, a big change. Sonic's thing is he runs really fast, he's the leader of the group, yada yada yada. But then
you gotta go fast.
But also going fast has problems.
His brain goes too fast and he doesn't think things through, and he just does things.
Yes.
Which sounds familiar.
And can be quite relatable to quite a lot of people. It's something that I've had issues with in the past, especially. So it's kind of nice to see that in a character, and also it hurts to see characters get frustrated with this character. Because, you start to recognize it in Tails when Sonic doesn't follow the plan, and he does Leroy Jenkins into the situation.
He really does. And he messes up, and that's the premise of the whole thing.
And,
he does a thing, and now he's dealing with the thing.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to say what the thing is?
Well, basically, what happens is that, I'm not too sure exactly, because I think that's still kind of unclear what happened, but the universe is shattered into parallel universes, and Sonic is sent through these universes that have never had a Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yes.
And he is constantly running into his group of friends who do not recognize him as a friend.
No, then they don't really like him, it seems,
No.
a lot of the time, because he just drops in and is like, hi, you're my friend, and they're like, no.
No, we're not friends. I don't know who you are. I've never seen you before in my life, and also your shoes are weird.
Shoes are weird, I don't trust you, go away, basically.
We see
Plus
this
L
with...
plus ratio.
Yeah. We see this with like, so in each universe, there's a different theme. So the first theme is kind of like,
dystopian.
Dystopian. It kind of actually reminds me a little bit of Star Wars. With like the Eggman Empire, but it's the Egg Council.
There's multiple Eggmans.
Yes. I don't know what, but they're not Eggmans. They're not Eggman.
They're egg children, egg old
folk.
men.
They're an egg family.
There's
Egg folk.
There's a baby.
There's a baby.
There's a literal baby.
There is a baby, yes. The baby is one thing I don't like.
Yeah, no, I hate it every time it speaks.
But basically, Sonic has to go through these various universes, and he needs his friends to help him, but his friends don't recognize him. So he's constantly having to like rebuild his relationships very quickly, and at the same time confront what makes it so difficult for people to get along with him. And we also get like probably one of the funniest moments where so we all know Amy Rose and Sonic the Hedgehog, they've got something, feelings maybe, I don't know.
One-sided, perhaps?
One-sided. Sometimes it's like, oh, what's going on here? Sonic. I almost said Shadow.
Wasn't Sonic dating like a squirrel?
That was Sally Acorn.
Okay, let's not.
We can't. That's 20 years ago, Caroline.
We cannot get into the Archie comics.
Am I showing my age?
But when, one thing that Sonic could always count on through all of his adventures is his friends. But what happens if his friends don't like him? That's pretty much the premise of this show.
Yeah.
It's very entertaining. We have a lot of like unexpected voice talents. For example, Rouge is actually voiced by the singing voice for Rarity from My Little Pony.
My Little Pony.
Cease and desist. Which is, I read about it and I was like, that makes sense. And we also get to hear kind of like, just like people I did not expect to be these characters do a pretty phenomenal job.
I'm still waiting for the musical episode.
Not well known.
Sorry?
I said a lot of them are not well known, so it feels like they're really giving a chance to a lot of smaller voice actors in this like really shockingly high budget show for a Sonic thing, because I don't think we've talked about it yet. The animation is absolutely beautiful.
It's really fun. It's really satisfying.
Is like the best Sonic has looked outside of like Sonic Unleashed cutscenes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also there's very distinct set pieces. Like each universe has its own look and feel.
Like
and
the pirate universe.
The pirate universe.
There is a pirate universe.
We probably shouldn't spoil any more.
Well, I just want to say, I just want people to know that there's a pirate universe, and that is your that's your hook now.
Because pirates have hooks.
I didn't even think of that. It is actually the end of the night for us.
It comes every night.
Every night.
Week.
Every week. The end.
It sneaks.
The hour ends, and it's time for us to say goodbye. Good night.
Auf Wiedersehen, farewell.
Farewell.
Adieu.
No.
Do not ask.
No.
Sorry, was that? Do not ask for who the show ends. It ends for thee.
It ends for thee.
And it ends for me.
Thanks for listening to Zed Games.
If you'd like to listen to more, check out our podcast on Spotify.
Or follow us on social media at ZED Games AU.
See you next time.